Good evening, children.
Good evening.
Good evening. Turn on your video.
Good evening.
Yeah, kindly turn on your videos. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, please take a picture of this answer. Please take a picture of this answer and complete this in your book. Done? This I think I taught you yesterday. Ignore this. Yeah, only that one, children. The rest I'll do it. Yeah. Now take down this question for today's class. Take down this question. So the question is, find the condition to be satisfied. Find the condition to be satisfied by the coefficients of the polynomial. What are the coefficients of this polynomial? Let's see that 1, P, Q, and R. So these are the coefficients of this polynomial. These are the coefficients of this polynomial. See the question? Find the condition to be satisfied by the coefficients of the polynomial. So we need to first identify. We need to first identify the coefficients of the given polynomial. Okay, so how do we identify the coefficients? The coefficient of x cube is 1. The coefficient of x squared is p or minus p. The coefficient of x is q. And the constant is minus r. So these are the coefficients 1, p, q, r. So now you need to find the condition to be satisfied by these coefficients. Given that the sum of its two zeros is 0. It's given that now we know that in general, please listen carefully. We know in general that alpha, beta, and gamma are the zeros of any cubic polynomial. In general, alpha, beta, and gamma are the zeros of a cubic polynomial. Here it is given that the sum of its two zeros is is 0. So say the sum of alpha and beta is 0. Say the sum of alpha and beta is 0. The sum of its two zeros, see here, the sum of its two zeros. Let's say the two zeros, alpha and beta. The sum of these two zeros, that means plus, is 0. See here? Two zeros, say alpha and beta. sum, meaning alpha plus beta, is equal to 0, 0. So here for this polynomial, if it is given that alpha plus beta is 0, then you should find the condition to be satisfied by the coefficients of this polynomial. When we answer this, it may look more clear. So let me come to the answer, the solution part. So we start like this. We start with what is given. It's given that alpha, don't write anything. It's given that alpha plus beta is 0. But this is a cubic polynomial. We know that alpha plus beta plus gamma is given by minus b by a, which is here minus of minus p by 1, which is p. Correct, children? The sum of the three zeros is given by minus b by a, minus b by a. So minus p by 1, which is p. So we know that alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to p. But alpha plus beta is 0. So 0 plus gamma is equal to p, which means gamma is equal to p. Gamma is equal to p. You know what? You found one of the zeros. One of the zeros is p. One of the zeros is p. See, when the coefficients are numerical, the zeros also. Are we all listening? Is it okay so far, children?
Yes, ma'am.
See, when the coefficients are numerical, now supposing I have a cubic polynomial like x cube minus 4x square plus 7x minus 11, then my zeros also will be numerical. When the coefficients are numerical, my zeros also will be numerical. Say alpha is equal to minus, whatever, I'm just writing some random value. Beta is equal to 5, gamma is equal to 1. So you will get numerical values for alpha, beta, gamma if the coefficients are numerical. If the coefficients are numerical, if their numbers minus 4, 7, 11, then you will get numbers for alpha, beta, and gamma also. But here, what are the coefficients here? The coefficients are, the coefficients are, they're not numerical, minus p, q, minus r. They're not numerical. Then how can you get a number for gamma? Gamma is a 0. But how can you expect gamma to be 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that when there is no number involved in the given cubic polynomial? There is no number involved in the given cubic polynomial. Then how can you get a numerical value for gamma or alpha or beta? So they will also be in letters only. If the given cubic polynomial has numerical coefficients, alpha, beta, gamma can be numerical. The given polynomial, the coefficients are literal, that is, they're letters. So your alpha, beta, gamma also will be some number, will be a letter like this. Okay, so we found gamma. Now you will wonder how you found gamma. See, I found gamma as p. And don't think p is not an answer. Yes, here for gamma you can only get a letter. Because as I told you, there is no number involved in the given cubic polynomial. So gamma is p. So you found the value of gamma. Gamma is p. Don't worry, I'm clearing the slide. Now we found that gamma is p. Now gamma is p. Now going down to 9th standard, we know that the zeros of a polynomial will satisfy the polynomial. That is, the value of the polynomial for every zero will be 0. Like for example, now supposing we have f of x is equal to, let me take some other example. 1 minute. Now let's factorize this, children. We are not going away from the topic. We are well within the topic. Say yeah, factorize this one, children. This is f of x. Please factorize this. Alpha and beta are the zeros. No, we cannot take this long. What's still factorizing? Children, split the middle term.
X minus 6 and x minus 8.
Very good. X minus 6 and x minus 8. So we have to split the middle term. F of x is equal to x squared minus 6x minus 8x plus 48. So it's equal to x into x minus 6 minus 8 into x minus 6. So that is x minus 6 into x minus 8. So f of x is equal to x minus 6 into x minus 8. These are the two factors. See, this is a quadratic polynomial. X squared minus 14x plus 48 is a quadratic polynomial. And its two zeros are alpha and beta in general. Now here, what are the two zeros? We need to equate the factors to 0. These are the two factors. What are the zeros? X minus 6 is equal to 0, x is equal to 6. X minus 8 is equal to 0, x is equal to 8. So alpha is 6 and beta is 8. Or alpha is 8 and beta is 6. Whatever. Now, when you say alpha is 6 and beta is 8, what does it? What more sense does it make? Let's see that. Okay, so we split the middle term. We split the middle term. We found the two factors of the quadratic polynomial. We equated each factor to 0 and we found the zeros of the last year we've done this, equating each factor to 0 and finding the zeros of the polynomial. We didn't do for cubic last year, but for quadratic we found the zeros. Find the factors, equate each factor to 0 and you will find the zeros of the quadratic polynomial. So alpha 6 and beta is 8. Now what is f of 6? What is f of 6? It will be 0. What will be f of 8? F of 8 will be 0. F of no other number will be 0. No other number will be 0. Only f of 6 and f of 8 will be 0. F of no other number will be 0. These are the only two zeros of the quadratic polynomial. F of 6 will be 0. F of 8 will be 0. F of no other number will be 0. Let's check that. F of minus 1, minus 2, 4, 5, 10, 11, 20, 100, minus 3, 1 by 2, whatever, 0. All that will be something else other than 0. It will not be 0. Now, how do we find f of 6? Now we know f of 6 is 0 and f of 8 is 0. Let's work and find. So f of 6 is equal to, wherever there is x, use 6. 6 square. Wherever there is x, use 6. F of x, f of 6 you're finding. That means wherever there is x, you should use 6. Minus 14 into 6 plus 48. So 6 square is 36 minus 84 plus 48. 36 plus 48 is 84 minus 84, 0. So see, f of 6 is 0. Because 6 is a 0 of the quadratic polynomial. Now let's find f of 8. F of 8 is equal to 8 square. Wherever there is x, use 8 plus 48. 8 square is 64 minus 2, 3 carry over 11 plus 48. So 112 minus 112, which is 0. F of 6 is equal to 0. F of 8 is equal to 0. Now for x, you give any other value other than 6 or 8. The value of the polynomial will not be 0. The value of the polynomial x square minus 14x plus 48 will be 0 only when x is 6 or x is 8. For other values of x, the value of the polynomial will not be 0. It will be something else, but not 0. That is what are zeros of a polynomial. So now we found gamma is p. Gamma is p. One of the zeros is p. That means f of gamma will be 0. See, that is always true. F of alpha is 0. F of beta is 0 because they're the zeros. F of gamma is 0. Like this, like these are those numbers, like those three numbers. Like we just worked, right? F of 6 is 0 because 6 is alpha. F of 8 was 0 because 8 is beta. We just worked for the quadratic polynomial. F of 6 we found we got 0. Then because alpha is 6. F of 8 we got 0 because 8 is beta. So that means f of alpha is always 0, f of beta is 0, f of gamma is 0. So that's always true. For a quadratic polynomial, f of alpha is 0, f of beta is 0. For a cubic polynomial, f of alpha is 0, f of beta is 0, f of gamma is 0, f of gamma is 0. This is true always for a cubic polynomial, not for this sum. So now we always know that f of gamma is 0. But now we got gamma is p, that the value of gamma is p. So f of p is 0. F of p is 0. What do we mean by f of p? Wherever there is x, you should use p. Wherever there is x, you should use p. So x cubed, p cubed, minus p into x square, p square, plus q into x, p, minus r is equal to 0. See, this is an equation. F of p is equal to 0 is an equation. Is equal to 0. F of p is an equation. F of p is 0. So wherever there is x, you should use p. So p cubed minus p cubed plus p cubed minus r is equal to 0. This gets cancelled. So the condition is pq minus r is equal to 0. See the condition to be satisfied with the coefficients. See the coefficients pq and r here. See the coefficients pqr. So pq minus r is equal to 0 is the condition to be satisfied by the coefficients of this polynomial. Got children? Exactly what I've explained is here. Please write down. Done, children? Finished writing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anybody? No? All yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Take down this question, children. If two zeros of the cubic polynomial are √3 and minus √3, find its third zero. So alpha is given, beta is given. You should find gamma. This is simple. You can understand by yourself. See the answer. Alpha is given, beta is given. Two zeros are given. Alpha is given, beta is given. So you should find gamma. What's the product of the zeros? Children, what's the product of the zeros? What's alpha, beta, gamma given by?
C by A, ma'am.
Minus
D by B, ma'am.
Minus d by a. Yeah. So what is alpha, beta, gamma here? What's minus d by a?
minus 12 by 1.
Minus 12 by 1 or minus 12? What's the value of alpha?
√3, ma'am.
What's the value of beta?
Minus √3.
Minus 3.
Into gamma is equal to minus 12. What is √3 into √3?
Minus 3.
Minus 3, ma'am.
Okay, √3 into √3 is 3, minus 3 into gamma is equal to minus 12. So gamma is equal to minus 12 by minus 3. Gamma is equal to 4. You can also work it like this. You can also do it like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, make a note. Understand the question, read the question and understand what is given. Two zeros are given. Alpha is given, beta is given. You should find gamma. That's all. So you can either use alpha plus beta plus gamma or alpha beta gamma. Yes, children. Next one. Find the zeros of f of x. Done, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Find the zeros of f of x. It's a cubic polynomial. You can see there. Find the zeros of f of x. It's a cubic polynomial. If its two zeros are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. If its two zeros are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. So children, tell me two numbers that are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign.
+4 and -1.
+4 and -4. What is the sum of +4 and -4?
0.
Yeah, so what's the meaning of this? If its two zeros are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign, what's the meaning? The sum of the zeros is 0. That's the meaning actually. It's just given in a different way. See, if it's two zeros, the three zeros are alpha, beta, and gamma. The three zeros are alpha, beta, and gamma. Two zeros are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. If they have to be equal in magnitude and opposite in sign, that means something like 10 and -10. +10 and -10. So that means the sum of the zeros is 0. Two zeros is 0. That's the meaning actually. The sum of two zeros is 0. That is the meaning. Okay, but we'll just work it the way it is given. So now we'll just don't write anything now. I'll show the answer slide. So we'll just say let the zeros be alpha, minus alpha, and gamma. Because they're saying two zeros are equal in magnitude, alpha, alpha, plus alpha, minus alpha. Now Sneha and Harni said +4, -4, right? Like that, plus alpha, minus alpha, yes or no? Plus alpha, minus alpha, and that is instead of beta, we are saying minus alpha. Instead of beta, we are saying minus alpha, alpha, minus alpha, and gamma. You can see these two zeros, and plus alpha, minus alpha, equal in magnitude, opposite in sign. We have to take three zeros, alpha, beta, and gamma. Instead of beta, we are saying minus alpha. Why? Because this is plus alpha, so minus alpha. Equal in magnitude, opposite in sign. So let the zeros be alpha, minus alpha, and gamma. Now what be this? See, we know only three things, okay? We know only three things. Alpha plus beta plus gamma is minus b by a. Then alpha beta gamma is minus d by a. Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma is c by a. We only know these three. You should just use these three conditions and get the answer. That's all. See, that is how to think. Your boundary is limited. How to go about the boundary is limited when it is cubic polynomial or a quadratic polynomial. We have the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. We'll have to use that to get the answers. Okay, so now I'm going to use the sum of the zeros. What's the sum of the zeros? Alpha minus alpha plus gamma. And what is it given by? Minus b by a, minus b by a. Don't write, children, don't write. So alpha and minus alpha gets cancelled because it's zero, no? Sum of the zeros is zero. That's what we understood. They get cancelled. So gamma is equal to minus b minus 5 by a by 1. So gamma is equal to 5. See, gamma we got 5. Why did we get a number? Because the coefficients are numerical. I told you. If the coefficients are like PQR, alpha, beta, gamma also will be like PQR only. You will not get number for that. But if the coefficients are numerical, see here the coefficients minus 5, minus 16, 80. So the answer for alpha, beta, gamma also will be numerical only. You will get some number. So gamma is 5. We got gamma. But we don't know alpha and beta. We don't know alpha and beta. We got gamma. Now with the help of what's the question? We have to find the zeros. The question is find this. Okay, we need to understand the question. Find the zeros. Find the zeros means you should find alpha, you should find beta, you should find gamma. And how should the answer be? All the three numbers, I'm sorry, all the three should be numbers. Am I making sense, children? Are you all following me?
Yes, ma'am.
Find the zeros, find the zeros. That means you should find alpha, beta, and gamma. It's a cubic polynomial. So you should find alpha, beta, and gamma. And how should alpha, beta, gamma look like? All the three should be numbers. Why are you expecting numbers? Because the coefficients are numerical. If it was like x cube minus p x square minus qx plus r, then alpha, beta, gamma also will be like minus p, maybe like, minus r by q, whatever, like some q by p, something like this. You won't get numbers. You will get only in PQR. Okay. So find the zeros. We should find alpha, beta, and gamma. Alpha, beta, gamma should be numbers. All the three should be numbers. And this condition is given. This condition is given. Okay. So now we worked and we got gamma is equal to what, children? 5, yeah? What did we get for gamma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
work like this. Plus gamma is equal to minus b by a. So minus 5 by 1. Okay, so this gets cancelled. So gamma is equal to 5. We got gamma. Now go down to 9th standard. Go down to 9th standard. Chapter polynomials. Concept factorize using factor theorem. Now we are in 9th standard. I'm mesmerizing you. All of you. All of you are in 9th standard now. All of you are doing polynomials. And in polynomials, the concept is factor theorem. So when it's a cubic polynomial, when you have one of the factors, you can divide and find the remaining two factors. Okay, slowly we'll recall that. Slowly we'll recall that as we work. So if gamma is 5, that means x minus 5 is a factor of the cubic polynomial. You should understand this. If gamma was minus 5, then x plus 5 is a factor of the cubic polynomial. Opposite sign you should take. If the polynomial was in y, then you should say y plus 5. Okay, now gamma, let me continue. Gamma is 5. That means x minus 5 is a factor. Now you should divide the cubic polynomial x cube minus 5x square minus 16x plus 80. You must divide this by x minus 5. When you divide this cubic polynomial by a linear factor, you will get a quotient which is quadratic. And when you split the middle term, when you factorize a quadratic quotient, you will get the remaining two zeros. I'll repeat the same thing slowly. Cubic polynomial, when you divide this by a linear factor, you will get a quadratic quotient because x into x square only is x cube. X into x square is x cube. You will get a quadratic quotient. The remainder will be 0 because you're dividing by a factor. Remainder will be 0. You cannot get something else as the remainder. The remainder will be 0 because you're dividing by a factor. You will get a quadratic quotient. Split the middle term and find the two zeros. You will find the two factors and hence you will find the two zeros. It's that easy. Yes, now work. Work, children. So how do you divide? The first term in the quotient is x square. How do you find that? Should divide x cube by x. You must divide x cube by x. You must divide this by this x square. That will be the first term in the quotient, x square. Then write x square into x cube. You should multiply x square with x and minus 5. X square into x is x cube. X square into minus 5 is minus 5x square. Then change the signs. Plus becomes minus. See, while typing, I can only do this, okay? So what you can write it here beside. Plus becomes minus, this minus becomes plus. That's what I've shown below. I can't show it above here. I can't show, so the changing the signs. So when you change the signs, what happens? X cubed minus x cubed cancels. Minus 5x square plus 5x square cancels. Change the signs. It becomes minus, this becomes plus. When you change the sign, they get cancelled. So nothing, 0. Then bring the next two terms down. Bring the next two terms down. Now you should divide minus 16x by x. Should divide minus 16x. You should divide the first term, minus 16x by x. So x and x cancel, minus 16. That is the next term in the quotient, minus 16. Now again, you should multiply minus 16. Should again multiply minus 16 by x. Minus 16x. Minus 16 into minus 5. Plus 80. Change the signs. Minus becomes plus, plus becomes minus. They get cancelled. Minus 16x plus 16x. Plus 80 minus 80. 0. Now the quotient. X square minus 16. It's like a square minus b square. A plus b into a minus b. Equate the factors to 0. So you get minus 4 and 4. So this is alpha, this is beta. Alpha is minus 4, beta is 4, and gamma is 5. So we found the zeros. We found all the zeros. Yeah, please write down. Class, use the digital hand and raise your hand. Taruni, Ramanathan, Nandini, Ananya, Rajeshwari, Rajarajeshwari, Murali Krishna, Rajan, Harini, Hitesh, Harini, Sneha, Hitesh, Sashmi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not able to use that emoji?
Yes.
So the understanding of the answer lies in understanding the question. Answer is not in the answer. Answer is in the question. Read the question, understand the question. Mostly, or okay, sometimes, or maybe we feel like, we sometimes ignore reading the question. We just concentrate or give more importance to the answer. But answer can be well understood only if you've understood the question. The details or the information given in the question clearly should be understood. So here we have to find the zeros. That means you should find the value of alpha, beta, and gamma. And all the three you should get numbers. I told you why. The condition given is two zeros, that is alpha and beta. They are equal in magnitude, but opposite in sign. They have the same value, but opposite sign, plus and minus. So we have taken the zeros to be alpha, plus alpha, minus alpha, and gamma. And then I told you we have to use one of those conditions. Sum of the zeros minus b by a. Using that we found gamma is 5. Gamma is 5. We got the value of one of the zeros. So from that you can easily find the factor. From the 0 you can find the factor. If 5 is a 0, x minus 5 is a factor. And in 9th standard we've learned that when you have to find the factors of a cubic polynomial, you should divide by one of its factors. A cubic polynomial has 3 factors. A cubic polynomial has 3 factors. One of the factors we have here, x minus 5. When you divide the cubic polynomial by one of its linear factors, the quotient will be quadratic. And when you factorize the quotient, the quadratic quotient, you can find the remaining 2 linear factors. And the linear factors are x plus 4 and x minus 4. On equating each of the linear factors to 0, you can find the remaining 2 zeros, which are minus 4 and 4. So the zeros are minus 4, 4, and 5. Is over, children? And division is of 8th standard.
Yes.
So my work is so easy, no? Something is of 9th standard, something is of 8th standard, finished. Division is of 8th standard, children. So you have to ask me. If you don't understand any part of the division, you should ask me your question. Algebraic division is of 8th standard. And 9th also we continued that in polynomials. Next question. Find the zeros. So again, see the polynomial, numerical coefficient. So you should find alpha, beta, gamma, all numbers you must get. Find the zeros of the polynomial. If it's given that the product of its 2 zeros is 12. Product is given here. Product of 2 zeros is 12. So we will use the condition that is close to the information given. We will use the condition that is close to the information given. Since the product of the zeros is 12, we'll use the condition alpha, beta, gamma is equal to minus d by a, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now what is alpha, beta? What is alpha, beta? What is alpha into beta?
C by A.
E by
No. What is alpha into beta?
12.
Children? Who said that?
Me, ma'am.
Nandini. Yeah. Product of its two zeros is 12, children. So alpha into beta is 12. You can take anything. See, now your doubt might be like, how do you know alpha into beta is 12? Why beta into gamma can be 12? No. Okay, you take beta into gamma is 12. See, I'll tell you one thing. Supposing the zeros are like, say, 5, 4, and 3. The order, see, this can be alpha, this can be beta, this can be gamma, or this can be alpha, this can be beta, this can be gamma. See, it's not that what is alpha. You just have to find the three values. Any of them can be alpha, any of them can, meaning if this is alpha, this can be beta, this can be gamma. There's nothing like alpha is 5, beta is 4, and gamma is 3. But we just assign, that's all. When we find the three numbers, we'll simply say, okay, so alpha is 5, beta is 4, and gamma is 3. But it can be like alpha is 4, beta is 3, and gamma is 5. So it's not about how do you know that alpha into beta is this is now minus d by a, right? So minus 24. Yeah, you can take beta gamma as 12. You can take alpha gamma as 12. Anything. You'll get the same answer. You don't have that doubt. It's not when you those three values, no, nothing is fixed for alpha. When you have those three values, any one of them can be alpha. Product of the zeros is equal to minus d by a. So minus 24 by 1, minus 24. This is the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. Now product of the two zeros. So like alpha into beta is 12 into gamma is equal to minus 24. Gamma is equal to minus 24 by 12. Gamma is equal to minus 2. We got one of the zeros. One of the zeros is minus 2. So what is the factor? The corresponding factor? If gamma is minus 2, what is the corresponding factor?
X plus 1.
Am I audible and clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
If gamma is minus 2, what is
Yes,
the...
ma'am.
Okay.
X plus 1.
X. Yes, Nandini, again.
X plus 2, ma'am.
Yeah. All of you agree? Rajeshwari, understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Ramnathan,
Yes, ma'am.
Harini and Sneha.
Yes, ma'am.
The others have not kept their videos on. Now, what do I do? I have not. See, Tarungi, I've mentioned many a times. You're completely inactive in the class. Rarely you turn on your video. Murali Krishna, you too. You have to interact with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Pranav Rajan, suddenly he's in, the hibernation mode now. He was active when we started off the classes and now he's, I don't know where he is. Are you there, Pranav? Pranav, are you there? You're having dinner, you're not able to talk? Hitesh also. Hi, Tarun. See, my concern is, are you following the class? How do I know if you say yes, no, if you respond? I feel nice that I'm not wasting anyone's time here. Is it difficult to say yes, no, understood, not understood? Are you following, Tarun? What's the name of the chapter you're dealing with? In general, what are the okay, how many zeros does a cubic polynomial have? I can't see you, Tarun. How many zeros does a cubic polynomial have? Hitesh, how many zeros does a cubic polynomial have?
Three, ma'am.
What are they in general?
Alpha, beta, and gamma.
What is the sum of the zeros given by for a cubic polynomial?
Minus b by a, ma'am.
Product of the zeros? I can't see your face, Hitesh. If you're looking down onto your book and telling me, yeah. Product of the zeros?
By a.
Once again?
Minus d by a, ma'am.
Okay, and what is the other one?
Minus b by a.
No, there's one in the middle. Minus b by a, minus d by a. That's one more thing.
C by a, ma'am.
Yeah, what is that? Don't look down. Look at your screen. Who can say that in words?
Alpha beta into beta gamma into alpha gamma.
Gamma.
Incorrect.
Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha.
Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma. How do you express that in words? It is the sum of the it's a sum of the
Product
first
of the zeros two at a time, ma'am.
taken two at a time. Very good. Yes, it is the sum of the products. It's the sum of the products of the zeros taken two at a time. The first one is the sum of the zeros. The last one is the product of the zeros. The one in the middle is the sum of the products of the zeros taken two at a time. Yes, good. Rajeshwari.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So gamma's minus 2 children. So which means the factor, the corresponding factor is x plus 2. Now what do? You should tell me what next. What next, children? We found it's a cubic polynomial. It's a cubic polynomial. We have one factor. What will you do?
Divide the polynomial by x plus 2.
Yeah, divide the given cubic polynomial by x plus 2. And what will be the quotient like? It will be a the quotient will be quadratic. When you divide a cubic polynomial by a linear factor, the quotient will be a quadratic quotient. When you divide a cubic, when you're dividing something like x cube, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, 1 second. Yeah, when you're dividing a cubic polynomial by a linear factor, the quotient will be quadratic. And when you split the quadratic quotient, meaning split the middle term or factorize the quadratic quotient, you will get the remaining two linear factors. This is what we have learned in standard 9. Okay, children, that's what it is. You can see the answer here. Very easy. Read and understand the question. That's very important. Write down. We change the signs here, minus and minus. That's what I've shown below. Done, children? See, when you divide, when you divide the cubic polynomial by linear factor, you get a quadratic quotient. Then you must take up the remainder should be 0 because you're dividing the cubic polynomial by its factor. So when you divide a number by its factor, the remainder will be 0. Now take up the quadratic quotient, split the middle term, find the two factors, equate each factor to 0. These are the two zeros, the remaining two zeros. One we already found is -2. The remaining two zeros are 3 and 4. So the three zeros, therefore the zeros are -2, 3 and 4. Or if you want to write it in the order, like if you feel this is alpha, this is beta, and this is gamma, right? So you can write 4, 3 and -2. 4, 3 and -2. You can write it as 4, 3 and -2. You can treating 4 as alpha, 3 as beta, and -2 as gamma. 4, 3 and -2. All the same. That doesn't make any mistake or something. Done, children?
Yes, yes.
All right. Now today alone, all of you will take pictures of your classwork and share it on WhatsApp with me. Once we finish the call, finish your dinner. If you have not had your dinner, finish your dinner. 10 minutes you need to take pictures or less than that. Clear pictures. And don't fool me by taking some other pictures, some dull images of something else. There's only one way for honesty. For cheating, there are many ways. So we'll follow the one way.
Which we wrote today alone, ma'am?
Yeah, today alone. Yeah. Today alone. Today alone.
Okay.
Today's classwork alone. Take pictures of today's classwork alone. And I don't think you'll need, all of you can share it before 10 today. 10 to 10:15. Share the pictures before that today.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So here you can see this, abbreviation AP. AP stands for arithmetic progression. We haven't still learned that chapter. We have the chapter in our syllabus this year. Arithmetic progression. Maybe you've learned it in school. So I'm not telling you the details of that now. We'll do it when we take up that chapter. For now, I'll just tell you, given that the zeros are in AP, when it's given like, see, we'll understand once we do this chapter, you will then be able to relate it and understand this better. For now, because I cannot give you a very brief, a short introduction, that's difficult. If I start talking about AP, that will take a long time. That will take about half an hour to 45 minutes. So we cannot spend that much time now for this sum. For now, if the zeros are in AP, it's a cubic polynomial. 3 zeros, alpha, beta, and gamma. Alpha, beta, and gamma. The zeros are in AP. So let alpha be A minus D, let beta be A, let gamma be A plus D. Now you will have this question why. Y will be answered when we do the chapter AP. Arithmetic progressions. Now when you see the question, given that the zeros are in AP, it's a cubic polynomial. So 3 zeros, alpha, beta and gamma. It's a cubic polynomial. So there are 3 zeros, alpha, beta and gamma. So let the 3 zeros be A minus, let alpha be A minus D, beta be A and gamma be A plus D. Now this is normally what we do. You can also say P minus Q, P and P plus Q. X minus Y, X and X plus Y. Okay, now we'll just go with this alpha, beta and gamma. Let them be A minus D, A and A plus D. Yeah, so that's the condition given here. Find the zeros. You have to find numbers because you can see numerical coefficients 12, 39, 28. So you must get a number for alpha, a number for beta, a number for gamma. Find the zeros of this polynomial given that the zeros are in AP. So the conditions given are different, children, but the working is the same. So see here, what is the sum of the zeros given by? What is the sum of the zeros given by? Minus b by a. What's minus b by a? Minus 12 by 1, which is 12. So alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to 12. Now the zeros are in AP. So the first zero is A minus D, the second zero is A, the third zero is A plus D is equal to 12. The zeros are in AP. So what happens? Minus D plus D gets cancelled. So 3A is equal to 12. A is equal to 4. We found A. A is 4. Who's A? Beta. Who's A? Beta. Alpha is A minus D. Gamma is A plus D. Who's A? A is beta. So we found beta as 4. We found beta as 4. That is, we found one of the zeros, beta, 4. So if 4 is a 0, x minus 4 is a factor. Divide and get the remaining 2. We have done a different method here. You please do the same method. It's time for today's class. I'll explain the other method which I've done in the next class. I think I have both the methods. No, I don't have. I'll tell you again. So you please finish this answer. You must just write. Let alpha be equal to A minus D. Please take down this beta be A, gamma be A plus D. So we know that alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to minus B by A. I'm taking a minus B capital because here also we have A. So we have A minus D, A minus D. Okay, let me write alpha itself here. So alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to minus 12 by 1. So alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to 12. Now alpha is A minus D, beta is A, gamma is A plus D is equal to 12. Minus D plus D cancels. 3A is equal to 12. A is equal to 4. But who is A? A is beta. So this implies beta is equal to 4. This implies beta is equal to 4 because A is beta. A is beta. Beta is equal to 4 and beta is a 0. Beta is a 0. Therefore, x minus 4 is a factor. X minus 4 is a factor of f of x. Now divide x cube. Divide that by x minus 4. You will get a quadratic quotient. And then split the middle term to find the remaining 2 zeros. Since you know this method, you complete it using that method. What I have in my slide, I'll explain in the next class. It's time, children. So just take a picture of this one and complete this. All right, children. You want this? Okay. Should I show you the screen? Finish writing, children. I said take a picture. No, no, it's time, children. Take a picture. You can complete it. Take a screenshot. Yeah, I think you must have taken by now. Yes, children. Yeah, so that was it for today's session. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.